Hi everyone, I'm going to show you that how to create a Lightning Web components. So very first thing is that we need to open the Visual Studio Code and clicking on the command palette, we will create a project as a standard template and now entering the project name as project 1, hit enter. It will ask where to save your project. So I'm choosing the desktop. So this will create a project for me and the folders and contents are shown in the left pane. Here it will take a few moments to activate the extensions for the Visual Studio Code. Now, next thing is that we need to authorize an org, authorize the DevHub org. So I have already authorized the DevHub org using the credentials, username and password. Okay, and after that, I will create a scratch org using this DevHub org for creating our project and displaying the Lightning Web components on that org. So I'm creating here. So now creating a default scratch org. So I'm choosing the default project scratch definition JSON file here. And I'm doing alias for this org scratch one. Yeah, hit enter. It will ask for how many days you want to exist this scratch org. I'm entering 1 day. Now it will create a scratch org. It will take a few moment for creating this scratch org. Let us wait. After creating the scratch org, it will give a successful message for the creation of the scratch org. Yeah, SFDS create a default scratch org successfully ran. So and also selected the name of the scratch org scratch one we have created. Now we can log in into this scratch org by clicking this small button, and this will open the scratch org in our browser. So this is the scratch org where we can see our Lightning Web components created. So I'm going to the project Visual Studio Code. So here run the command for the create Lightning Web components. So clicking on the create Lightning Web components and entering the file name. So I'm entering quiz app LWC, hit enter. It will ask for the default directory. I'm choosing the default directory, that is the Force app, and this will the quiz app LWC has been created, and the three files has been generated: HTML file, JavaScript file, and the meta XML file. Now, very first thing, in the meta.xml file, we need to set this false to change the true value, and also some modifications is required here. So targets, under this we need to target our where to we want to expose our lightning web component. So I'm choosing here lightning app page, So our components will be exposed into the Lightning app page. We can choose other Lightning record page, Lightning home page, other things here, but I'm choosing the Lightning app page here. So saving this file. Now going to the HTML. This is the template. So first thing, I will create a Lightning card here. Very first thing. So Lightning card. Let us name this Lightning card title. We have in LWC. Now let us save, and now push this source to the our scratch org. So by going to the command palette, we can also go to the command palette using the shortcut keys Control Shift P here and type push. So this will push source to default scratch org. So whatever code we have written using the Visual Studio Code, all the codes will be pushed to the our default scratch org. Yeah. So our code has been pushed. So let us see on the default scratch org how it looks. So as our Lightning Web components is exposed to the Lightning app page, so we need to create a Lightning app page. So going to the Lightning app builder, now create a new app page. I'm selecting a app page, clicking on the next label. I'm labeling it as quiz app. So I'm going to select one region, finish. Okay. So our component will be available for this Lightning app page. So I'm selecting this our Lightning Web components here and dragging it on the Lightning app. So here it is selected. Just click on the save and activate it, and assigning it, just uh, click on the save as default, finish. Just go back, going to the sales app, searching here for the app page. So here the quiz app page will open. So here we are not written anything else except our title, quiz app in LWC. So here in this page, the quiz app in WLC is written here. Now let us create something more into our web components file. So I'm going to create a quiz page using the Lightning Web components. So next I'm going to create div. In the div, selecting the Lightning Design System classes SLDS, sorry, class SLDS. Let us give some margin around medium margin. After that, let us create a form. In the form, so I'm going to create a quiz app. So in the form, I'm going to use the template. directive template. I'm going to use here for each loop. In the for each loop, I'm going to assign this to an array. This which is the my question. I will create this array in our JavaScript file. So there my question, and for each loop and for item. So for item equal to, so we can choose any of the variable here. So I'm choosing the variable such as naming it as a quiz. Okay. After this, let us move to our JavaScript file. In the JavaScript file, I have created my question as an array of an object. So here I'm designing the question, very first question, as a single object. So ID is the question one. Question is identify the invalid trigger event. And the answers are 4 and delete, 4 update, after delete. So I'm giving the questions. After that, one more key value, correct, sir. So I'm assigning here the correct answer is A. So this is the first question. So likewise, I copy this question and will replace the content. Control P and yeah. So let us choose the 3 question here. I'm changing this ID as question 2, this as a question 3, and changing the questions here. So what percentage of code coverage is required before the deployment? So I'm choosing your answer is 50, 50, 75 or 100. So these are 3 answers, and we all know that the correct answer is the B. Sorry. And let us write the third question. Which method causes the entire set of operation to be rolled back. So here option is error method, show error method, add error method, and this have correct answer as C. So this is the correct answer as C. So let us create some other variables here. Very first variable is the selected. This is an empty set of objects. It will create our answers. Second one is the correct answer. Let us assign this initial value as 0, and one more is the is submitted. Let us assign this value as a false. Initial value as a false. Okay. Let us go back to the our HTML file. So in the HTML file, let us create. So template is created. In first template, let us create a div. So here div. So in this div, let us we will display the quiz ID, dynamic calculation of the quiz ID. This question. So it is here. After that, we will create a new another div. There should be another div. So let us paste this div here. This div will contain the key value for the for each loop. So key will be for which it is iterating. So I'm writing quiz dot id. It will calculate the value. Let us assign some SLDS class here. Bottom, let us medium. So here we will create 3 divs for our 3 questions here. So let us create a very first div for the very first question. In the first div, let us assign this div as a class, that is design system class SLDS colon. In this div, let us select input. So in this we can also this input as a self closing tag, so we can remove the closing here. So here this input, let us select the type of this input as a radio button. Okay, so in the radio button, name as the quiz ID, will be value that value will be the a, and here I'm assigning a on change event. So here I'm designing a new change handler, and the value will be quiz dot answer. This is the correct answer for this. So this is our first question. Likewise, I'm going to copy this 3 times more. Okay, and assigning this value as b, and here the correct answer is the b. Assigning here value as c, and for the third question the correct answer is the c. So let us see how our component will look like. So just going to the command palette and pushing the source. Yeah. So let us refresh the page. So let us write other things in the our HTML file. So here on the line number 24, I'm going to create a lightning button here. So creating lightning button. Okay, and now let us design some, apply some style for this lightning button. So variant equal to brand, and type is submit. Type is submit, and the label is also submit. Title will be submit quiz. Let us apply some class for this button also, SLDS classes. So very first class, let us give some margin around this button. SLDS dash m dash round underscore margin, and also let us assign some event on this. So disabled. So we want that this button, submit button, should be disabled until and unless all the answers has been selected. So for this I'm creating here an event all not selected. We will write down for this method on the JavaScript file, and on click handler, on click submit handler. So here we have designed a button for this. Let us create another button for resetting of the form. If we want to reset our selections, so all the things will be there, but the type will be reset. and the label will also be set. The title will be reset quiz here, and the classes will be same. And on click, I'm changing the on click. So here, editing this, I will have reset handler for this. So this is the button, and let us create another template outside this form. So these are the template. First template is for each, and second template will be the if directive template. So this is the template from using the if directive. If the value of the submitted property in the JavaScript file will be true, then only this template will be shown, otherwise not. Under this second template, I'm going to add a division, and this div will contain, you have its code, correct answers. So we have here, so we have defined the property correct answer. So this will be calculated from the JavaScript files, collect correct answers out of my questions. So this is the my questions here. So my question is the array of the objects in which the we define the questions of questions. So let us define my questions. So my questions are length. So our HTML file is complete. Let us move to the JavaScript file and write down the other codes there. In this, okay, our so here we have defined the change handler. In this, we have used the spread operator for given array, and let us define other codes here. So here we have also defined the for the first button all not selected. So let us write the code here. For get all not selected. So this will return. So this will verify whether all the questions are selected or not. All the answers are selected or not. So we will return here this dot selected dot length equal to this dot my questions dot length. We have used the 3 equal to, that is the number of questions selected, and the answer should also be same. So here, so just let us cast this, and we will use the not operator around this, so that it will be verify this. So when this statement will be true, so it will return false. That is, it will return false, and when this will return false, the button will not be disabled for this. And for another, now let us create the change handler event here. So change handler event it will find the event dot target. Let us assign this value to a constant. Let us assign this value constant type variable. Main value dot selected equal to, we have already defined this. Actually, we need to define the submit handler. So event dot event default we are assigning variable, correct. This will contain the number of questions that are correctly answers. This dot my questions. It will filter within some filter criteria, where item selected item dot id will be equivalent equivalent in all manner answer. This dot root answers. So I will assign in a variable in the variable correct answers this variable correct length, and this got submitted equal to false. So now one more handler is required to define here, that is the reset handler. So for the reset handler which is used in the reset button, so this dot selected will be empty, again assign empty value, and this dot correct answer, after clicking on the reset button, correct answer should also be equal to 0, and this dot is submitted should be false, submitted equal to false. Yeah, we have written all them. So let us deploy this code. So now deploy our code. Go to the command palette and click on the push source to default scratch org. So it started the process. So it successfully ran the pushing the source code to the default scratch org. So this is our complete code for the HTML file. Here it is a form tag from here to here, and in that form tag we have used the template, and one template is the for each loop and another is directive template. Here if true condition is selected, and in the first template we have implemented the three questions here into the div part. The three questions are defined here in my questions variable. So here my questions value is there in every div column. After that we have defined the events handler, submit handler, reset handler, and change handler, which are used in this HTML file. And also we have exposed our component true and targets Lightning Web page here. So all is done here. Let us see. Let us refresh the page whether the Lightning Web component is working as expected or not. So here the three questions are here displayed, and as well as the answers are also as a radio button. Let us select all the first option for that, and click on the submit. So we can see here you have scored 1 out of 3. This line is displayed from this HTML file, which is the bottommost line here. You have scored out of my question dot length. So my question dot length here is 3, and the correct answers is a JavaScript property here. Correct answers initially it is 0, but at the submit handler it calculate, and this calculate the correct dot length, and it assigns to a value correct answers. We can reset the selections here, and when none of uh, when until not all the questions are selected, the submit button is not highlighted, it's actually in disabled mode. So when we select all the questions answers first, this is 75, this is the add error. After selecting the third questions, the submit button highlighted and it is in active mode. And after clicking on the submit button, it gives you the score, that how many questions you have selected right. So here we have selected all the three questions right, so our score is 3 out of 3. So in this way we can create a quiz app depending on number of questions there. So for simplicity we have only chosen the three questions here. So our Lightning Web components designed here is working as expected. Thank you.